to another episode of Bravo Charlie's. Today we are going to be using our large cornbread skillet for actually making cornbread. Now there are dozens of different types of cornbread recipes, but today we are going to use a sweet cornbread recipe and maybe drizzle some honey over it when it's done. I prefer a sweeter cornbread, but there's spicy cornbread, there's pumpkin cornbread, there is jalapeno cornbread, there's cheese cornbread. If you just Google types of cornbread on the internet, you'll find an amazing amount of cornbread. And today, I'm gonna have my helper Jordan with me.
Hi!
Jordan's gonna help us mix up all the ingredients, but stand here, Jordan, and let me explain what all the ingredients are. You could put them in the bowl there, okay? So, I'm gonna go through these ingredients nice and slow so you can write them all down what we're needing. This is gonna be a sweet cornbread. So first thing, Jordan, is 1 cup of cornmeal. Now the cornmeal I use, let me just show you here real quick. It is Quaker Oats yellow cornmeal, and this will be just fine. Go ahead and pour that in the bowl, Jordan. We're just gonna mix everything together in one shot, and then we're gonna whisk it. And then I already have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. Thank you. I already have the oven preheated to 400 degrees. This is gonna take about 20 minutes in the oven, and it's already preheating and ready to go. Okay, 1 cup of flour. So 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of flour. Got that in there, Jordan? We're gonna do 2/3 cups of sugar. 2/3 cup of sugar. Very careful, Jordan, pour that in there. 1 teaspoon of salt. Now this, I used sea salt, but you can use any kind of salt that you have handy. I used extra fine sea salt. So 1 teaspoon of sea salt, Jordan. 3½ teaspoons of baking powder, not baking soda. 3½ teaspoons of baking powder. Go ahead, pour that in, Jordan. Okay, 1 egg. Jordan, you think you can crack the egg? Okay, to make sure you don't get shells in your mixture, always crack the egg in a small bowl ahead of time, and then you can pour the bowl in. Go ahead, Jordan, crack that egg right there. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of olive oil. You could use vegetable oil or olive oil. You don't use extra virgin olive oil, just use regular olive oil. How'd you do, Jordan? Gotta put that in the sink.
That's the stuff inside.
Perfect, you did a great job, Jordan. Go ahead and, here, I'll give you a rag to wipe your hands off, but go ahead and pour the egg in.
That looks like scissors.
Okay, now gotta put that in the sink. And wipe your hands off. And then the final ingredient is 1 cup of milk. So that's all there is to it. Now let's whisk this together. And I've already, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but I've already pre-seasoned and oiled the bottom of this pan. If you haven't, you can by all means use get us a spoon so we can scoop that in there. Get us a spoon, get us this one right here. If you're gonna use like a 9x9 glass cooking pan, you can do that. Just make sure you spray the bottom of it with like Pam or butter or something like that. But I've already pre-seasoned the bottom of this lodge, and I already did a video on this where I made blueberry pie, and I'll put a link right here where you can see the original video that I made of this pan. The first time I used it, I made a blueberry pie using phyllo dough, and I'll put that link up top so you can take a look at that. But let's get this mixed together. I mean, this really couldn't be simpler. Get this all nice and mixed. Just mix it thoroughly through. Okay, Jordan.
Yeah?
Now what we're gonna do, now that we have this mixed, and make sure whenever you're baking something, make sure that you keep your ingredients exact. As soon as you vary in the ingredients, you'll either get something too flat, it'll fall apart. Baking is really chemistry, so make sure you keep everything together. And this is getting nice and thick. It's kind of like pancake batter, right? You can even make chocolate chip cornbread. Maybe I should try that, huh? I'll tell you what, I'll make you one chocolate chip one. We'll take, hang on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some chocolate chips to make her one chocolate chip piece of cornbread. Because the nice thing about this is it's all individual, so you can make different types of flavors. Let me see, Jordan, let me go get you some chocolate chips. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have her chocolate chips here. We'll put these in one of them to see. Now you can see as this is sitting here, what happens is the baking soda causes the batter to expand. There's no yeast in this, but the baking soda will cause, the baking powder, not baking soda, sorry. The baking powder will cause this to expand a little bit. Okay, let me have that spoon, Jordan. Okay, let me pour this in each individual thing, and then you can pour the chocolate chips in yours. So I'm just going to fill each triangle. Go ahead. I'm filling them about 3/4 full. If you happen to get this pan, I'm not sure, this is actually the first time I've ever made this type of cornbread. So I want to make sure I don't fill it too much that it then overflows. But if you go ahead and get this pan, I'm filling each one about 3/4 full. Filled up. You can see they're about 3/4 full in each triangle. Jordan, why don't you go ahead and put in, here, stand this way so everybody can see. Grab the cup of chocolate chips and just put them in one. Just dump them in right on top. You can do that one? Okay, dump them right on. Don't worry about it, just dump them in. The more chocolate, the better. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put a little bit on top so they're covered up and they're inside. Stand back here, honey. Okay. So now we have our chocolate chip cornbread. We have, let's see, this makes a total of 8, so we have 7 regular cornbread and 1 chocolate chip cornbread. This is going to go in a 400-degree oven for 20 minutes, and then we're going to check it with a toothpick and see how it looks. Okay, we are 24.5 minutes into this. We originally went to 25, but it wasn't enough, so I bumped it. I'm sorry, we originally did 20, but it wasn't enough, so I bumped it up to 25. We're about 24.5. Now we're gonna give it the old toothpick test. If you put the toothpick in and it comes out dry, then you are good. So I'm gonna hit cancel here. Okay, you can see how beautiful golden brown they are, and there's Jordan's with the chocolate chips. I'm going to set this on a pot holder and let it cool down for a little bit. Okay, so here we are with our final cornbread, the final product. I'm going to get one of these out. Jordan's with the, what do we put in there?
Chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips. Kind of breaking a little bit. And, boy, this just fell right apart, Jordan. And I'm going to get a plain one out for myself. Let's go around the edges so we get all of this loosened up. Hopefully it comes out better this time. That one did better.
Yours comes out perfect, mine doesn't.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to get you a fork so you can try yours. Okay, Jordan, here, give this piece a try. Tell us what you think with the chocolate chip. Okay, what do you think?
Good.
You like it with the chocolate chips in there? Okay, so let me try some with a little bit of honey on it. I'm kind of curious how this is with some honey drizzled over it. There we go. It's just falling apart. I mean, it is so flaky. It is literally falling apart. Really good. With Jordan's chocolate chips. Yeah, chocolate chips are good. When chocolate chips are good, with the honey it's good. It's a very simple cornbread recipe. It was 25 minutes in the oven. Ingredients I talked about in the beginning of the video. I'll put them down in the link. I'll put them down in the description below. I'll put a link for the Lodge skillet below. If you like this content, go Jordan crazy on the like button. Give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to come back each week for new videos. And we'll see you next time at Bravo Charlie's.